Amazon is now offering $3,000 signing bonuses and has increased the offering of the hourly rate by about 33% in the last 5 or 6 months. We're going to talk about the crazy hiring spree by not just Amazon, but by UPS, FedEx, Walmart, and all their competitors right now. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about black wealth and black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that we are black first. B1 means that we put ourselves at the top of the priority list. That means that we solve our own problems before we go save the world. B1 also means that we have a plan. We have a 60-year plan. We are in year 10 of the 60-year plan, where B1 children, our children, are going to dominate the world when it comes to economics, education, wealth building, etc. So let's go ahead and put the B1 in the chat. Put your hashtag B1 in the chat if you agree with this philosophy. If you also understand that we must be one in order to be successful, please do that. Now, I want to say good morning to Wanda Hollis, Ramel Harris, No Reparations, No Vote, Max Jerome, my homeboy out of California, DeVere Incorporated. Linwood Butler says, sorry, Dr. Boyce, I tried, but you're full of shit. I'm unsubscribing. Well, let me unsubscribe you right now, my brother. I'm going to go ahead and block you up out of here. Everybody say goodbye, Linwood. Linwood, we wish you a happy life. You are no longer invited to the platform because we ain't got time for little boys. So goodbye, Linwood. Everybody say goodbye, Linwood. All right, so let's see. Ravon, Romel, Pauline, Sherelle, Tracy Harden, Triez, Gregory Hall, how are you? Tracy says another way to get you to get the shot. It could be. I mean, the conspiracies are everywhere. Nobody knows what's happening here. So let me go ahead and just tell you all what's going on. And I'm going to give you a perspective on this based on some inside information that I have with one of the major companies that's in the transportation industry. This is something that might be something for you to know. And I want to make one thing clear as we talk about this. A lot of people think that because I believe in black wealth and black ownership and black investing, that I also believe that you should never have a job, that jobs are always for suckers, and that anybody who works for another person is just stupid. I do not believe that. I do not believe that. Let me make that clear. I do not believe that having a job makes you a sucker. If you like your job, then keep the damn job. Please keep the job if you like it. There's nothing wrong. I'm old school. I believe that working every day can give you character and dignity, and it's structure, and it gives you a sense of purpose. So there's nothing wrong with working every day as long as you're okay with what you're doing. What I want is not for you to quit your job tomorrow. What I want is for you to be happy with the choice that you make. It's just like getting the shot. People think that because I might share some anti-shot information that I'm anti-shot. I'm not anti-shot. I'm anti-slavery. I'm anti-control. I'm anti-oppression. So to me, at the end of the day, if I can put you in a position where you have freedom and you have options, then you win. So there are plenty of people out here who have full-time jobs, who go to work every day, who are very free financially because they've got investments, they've got side streams of income, they've got assets that they can lean on. They can any day that they want, they can walk in their boss's office and say, "I quit. Take this job and shove it up your butt. I'm out of here." Well, you know what? You're my type of person because I would never ever shame you for working for somebody else. So I want to make sure that this is clear so no one gets because people like to simplify messages because their brains, I guess, can't comprehend that you can do two things at once. And I want to make that clear. I have nothing against anybody that wants to have a job. So let me go and dig into this article. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button, and give me a yes in the chat if you can still hear me. I'm actually switching my screen because I'm going to read this to you and I'm going to break this down for you. Now, this is from Reuters. Reuters says Amazon boosts hourly pay to over $18 to hire 125,000 workers. So Amazon is hiring 125,000 new workers, and they said hourly pay is boosted to over $18 an hour. But actually, I heard numbers bigger than that. 2250 is the number I heard in particular, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. So Reuters says Amazon Inc. hiked its average starting wage to $18 per hour on Tuesday and said it plans to hire more than 125,000 warehouse and transportation workers in the U.S. The world's largest online retailer also said it would pay a sign-on bonus of $3,000 in some locations, and the hourly wage could go up to 22.50. Okay, so it's $18 an hour on average across the country, 22.50 in some cities. Amazon was among the first few retailers to set a $15 an hour minimum wage in 2018. Amazon said in May it would pay around $17 in average wages. So just in in literally in a few months, they've gone from $17 an hour on average to $18 an hour on average. A lot of this is driven by a couple of factors. Let me tell you a couple of things that are going on here. I have a homegirl who works at UPS. And one of the things that I observed as we talked about UPS, and we talked and I've studied what's going on with FedEx and Walmart and a lot of these big companies, these big retailers and transportation companies, is that they're very desperate for employees. Right now, there is a severe shortage of labor. There's also supply chain issues, and at the same time, they've got this massive amount of consumer demand that they expect during the holidays. So during the holidays, Amazon knows that Black Friday is going to be lit up. Like they know that they're going to get all kinds of orders coming through, thousands and millions of orders, and actually, so they're doing massive hiring sprees, and a lot of these companies are literally sitting around thinking, what can we do to get people to come work for us? So you got UPS over here saying, oh, just last week, if you notice, UPS said we'll pay your college tuition. And I think Amazon was already helping out with tuition. I don't know if they're covering all the tuition or not. I got to double check. So now UPS comes out and announces, no, 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 no. We're paying, look, our hourly rate. Look at how high our hourly wages, right? And also, I remember not too long ago hearing FedEx and UPS talking about how they were increasing their hourly rate. Walmart is increasing their hourly pay. Everybody's trying to get workers right now, and that's really something that's actually good for the country, right? I've always been a fan of workers' rights. I feel like we've had an era in America where we kind of forgot that workers matter, and so this is actually good for the country. So I think it's a good thing. Now let me go back to the article. And I'll pull this up. And by the way, if you want a free copy of my book, you can go to allblackeconomics.com. I wrote a book called It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, a new paradigm for Black America, a new set of ideas that if Black people live by these ideas related to wealth, education, family, and community, we can actually excel. So if you'd like a free copy of the book, just go to allblackeconomics.com. I do not want to sell that book. I want it to be given to you for free because I want millions of people to read it. So far we're up to about 150,000 or something like that of you that have read it. So I want to get to 1 million. All right, so the company is hiring to run the 100 logistics facilities. It will launch this month. So they're launching 100 logistics facilities this month alone in the U.S., on top of the more than 250 that opened earlier this year. The additional staffing will also help roll out one-day delivery for Amazon's Prime Loyalty Club members. Retailers are scrambling to hire hourly workers in a tight labor market that's been offering benefits and sign-on bonuses to entice them. Walmart Inc. said earlier this month that it plans to hire 20,000 workers at its supply chain division ahead of the busy holiday season. So Amazon, Walmart, UPS, FedEx, all these companies are really desperate for workers. And that doesn't even include all the other companies that are out there, the restaurants and bookstores and all the other businesses. And basically what's going on right now is you have a crazy economy where labor shortages are pretty bad. The Delta variant has caused a lot of people to be afraid to go to work. Also, a lot of people can't even, they're not sure if their kids are going to be able to go to school and go to daycare because they don't know if there's going to be a flare up in the virus. And there's just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of instability. And then on top of that, I think in China, there was a coastal city in China with 4.5 million people that had to get shut down entirely, and that's a big deal if it's a coastal city because they were shipping products out of that city. It's coastal, right? They have docks there and they ship things. So basically, these supply chain issues are causing inflationary problems. Now, Empty Skies is asking, do you think this will accelerate inflation? You're damn right it will, because one of the measures of inflation, one of the factors, one of the many types of inflation they look at is things like worker wages. So if workers are in low supply, but they're in high demand, well, that's a formula for a spike in prices, right? A lot of companies are finding that it is much more expensive to do business than it was a couple years ago. So Amazon's at the top of the list, but Amazon is not the only one. There are other companies out there besides Amazon that are dealing with the very same issues, and Amazon is the type of company that does what it has to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future they end up increasing the wages even more than that. So Let me just go ahead and also mention to you guys that this week is going to be an interesting week in the stock market. There are some inflation. There is some inflation data coming out this week, and let me see here. um, let's see. I was looking at what was it? Bloomberg. Hit the thumbs up button, please. By the way, please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button. Very important to support the channel. If you do that, that really helps us a lot. So if you could take 1 second to do that, I would appreciate that very much. Um, so let me see. What did I see here? Okay, so basically, a couple things happening in terms of inflation. The supply of oil is being affected right now with that hurricane down in the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane Ida has affected the supply of oil, which is going to lead to a spike in oil prices. Which right there again, that's going to hit inflation. Also, according to Bloomberg, they said, "quote: This morning's U.S. inflation number is expected to show that prices accelerated more than 5% in August for the third straight month." The data released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which is a little bit after the recording of this video, is being closely watched by investors for indicators on the path of Fed policy. There's also the continued discussion about how the transitory spike in prices will be, or how transitory it will be, with a survey by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York yesterday showing that consumer expectations for medium-term inflation hitting the highest level on record. So consumers expect inflation. Um, the Fed chairman, Jay Powell, keeps saying that inflation is transitory, meaning that it's not going to last that long. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think that it's going to be a mix. I think there's some areas it's going to be transitory, some areas it's going to be long term, and I think that when this data comes out, what's interesting is that the Fed, because they've intervened in markets so much, it's like the data is going to mean the opposite of what you think it would mean. Normally, if the Fed was not touching the economy, then a little bit of inflation is actually good to kind of reflate the economy, get the economy going. But now that the Fed intervenes, then what happens is that the inflation numbers are strong. They're going to take that to mean, okay, so the Fed's going to stop pumping up the market, which means the economy can actually take a dip because the Fed's going to stop putting liquidity into the economy. So long story short, that inflation data is a big deal. Also, if you are a follower of Apple stock, Apple's launching some new products today. I mentioned to you guys yesterday that I think Apple's a good buy. I actually bought some more Apple yesterday to prepare for that because I think Apple long term is just a great investment anyway. And also, if you are in the Black Stock Market program, just know that today at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'm going to be spending an hour and a half just answering every single question from every single student in the program. If you want to leave your question for me in advance, which means it will be answered first, just log in at the blackstockmarketprogram.com. I also put in the section on what Dr. Boyce is buying. I listed 5 stocks that I really like for this week, in addition to Apple. So feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. And also, I'd be remiss not to mention that I'm going to be in Baltimore at the end of this month. If you live near Baltimore, feel free to come and hang out. You can find out more if you go to drboycebaltimore.com. That's drboycebaltimore.com. All right, guys. So please have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. And I'll keep checking in with you throughout the day to let you guys know what I'm seeing in the markets. So hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Bless you. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always fun. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Peace.